Okay, we are live with qualifying final round of the Assetto Sector RSS GT1 Championship. And we are at the Nordschleife as we see Samoy doing a little wheelie over Flugplatz there. For this round it will be traditional qualifying with drivers' fastest laps being what counts. And they are no longer solo on track. Be interesting to see what people try and do with Slipstream and the like here. First time they will have been able to this series. Already might be able to see Sabo just tucking in behind Adamike on the outlap here. As Wu has bottled it. Not a good start for those tyres. This time it is Samoy who is the first car out on track. Bit of a change from the usual Sabo leading the charge. Seen Duffy disappear, I think. Oh, he's dropped back a little bit maybe. Oh. I don't know, they're still on their outlaps, so it doesn't matter much right now. Will be another 10 minutes or so before any lap times are in. Or even more. Everybody's got just about enough time to do 3 laps before they don't mess up. Bradu in the Celine, we are once again graced with that glorious pushrod V8. Check out what the Nord's wildcard class are doing. The teammates in the Impact Blue team following each round. Go up to the sort of 3/4 mark of the lap. Also joining us for this round is Gianluca Dorsi and Odio. Get back to the GT1 classes. They are about to start their laps now. Seems like Sabo actually went back to pits, abandoning his lap, but he's having some technical issues. So. As long as Sabo gets out the pits by before the 9-minute mark, he should make it round, and he's out the pits now, so... Samoy getting very sideways into the penultimate corner there. The interesting clouds of smoke caused by the class quali do interesting things. Well, screaming into the microphone is optional. Quite a big gap between Samoy, the first car on track, and Adamite, the second car on track. Samoy already well onto the Nordschleife. Adamite just coming into the chicane on the Nurburgring. Behind them is Wu, the only Viper on track for this round, being pretty wide in the first part of the chicane there. See whether Duffy has a cleaner line. Yep, just clipping both those curbs perfectly. Nordschleife is quite a bit bumpier than anything we've run so far, so definitely a bit of a test of setup work and just how much margin people are leaving themselves. First sector time starting to come in now. Somewhere up front, 3:19.9. See what Adamite's going to do in front. Across the sector line with a 3:20 flat, so only a tenth between them. Linny in the other class, the Nord's class, behind them on the medium tyre, interestingly, sits a 3:19.8 though. So another tenth up on Samoy despite being on the harder tyre. go and check out the Nord's class. Here's Linny up front. Only absolutely flying through there on the medium tire. His teammate behind, also on the medium tire. 2 tenths down in Sector 1. See what they can do as they come up to the Sector 2 mark. For a lock-up entering the carousel. As you'll see, smashes into the wall for no discernible reason. Odie, who is Alonso? Wait, no, don't answer that. The first few laps should be coming in about 20 seconds time. Let's head back to the E1 class. Somewhere coming up towards the Nurburgring once again. We got the best line through there, runs very wide in the penultimate corner. This camera is apparently just gonna stay on there for no reason. Somewhere does cross the line with an 8:22.69. Nice. Adamike, next car through. Sector times were about a second off in Sector 2, so he's going to have to make that time up for Sector 3. I'm not quite sure what the strategy is going to be here, because those soft tyres will be suffering after 2 full laps. Adamike has actually gone into the pits. Abandoned that lap, which is interesting. Linny in the Nord's class, meanwhile, has come through and taken pole position with an 8:20.4. 2.2 seconds up on Sumoy. Behind him, his teammate is in 3rd place overall currently with 8:23.5. We'll cross the line there with an 8:26.6. Is Linny, who has joined us as a wild card for this round, along with his teammate Quai. Dodahedron coming across the line takes 5th place. Not sure what Adamike's plan here is going to be. If he does set a lap after driving through the pits, it will still count. Will obviously be quite slow. Presumably he's taken some fuel and tyres in a pit stop. A couple of guys, pretty much everyone actually, still yet to set a lap, which means they probably aren't going to be able to. Most of them having crossed the line now already. The GT class, last car to come round, gonna be Soda's. Sabo is also on a lap, but he is currently just coming into Sector 2. Has hit the wall and probably invalidated the lap though, so yep, that's going to be him out as well. Audio crosses the line, sets an 8:38.6. Quite far off, but with minimal practice and not much track knowledge, that does make some sense. I think that is going to be pretty much it for qualifying. Time is now over, so it is going to be the last car to cross the line. Means only 6 drivers have actually managed to qualify. I think it's probably still a better result than the Spa qualifying. Bit of a lock-up from Ruben that. Keeps it tight on the left side, crosses the line, and finishes with an 8:30.2, putting him in 6th place. So with that, that is... I think everyone who was going to set a lap having set a lap. Possibly Niemi still on a valid lap. 1 minute 30 since the checkered flag went out. He might have crossed the line beforehand and I didn't catch it. I don't think he's been back to the pits. So again, lapping on the medium tyre. Definitely still has the tyre to set a pretty good lap. Adamike also lapping out in front there as well. I struggle because the ACTV tower has decided to not work again. I think Gabor has just messed up. He did also fail to qualify at Spa, as did off the grid. He is still by far the heaviest car with the success prowess. Niemi flying now through miss, hit, miss. Just about does them in that order. Not a spectacular first sector from Niemi, 3:21.8, but could still very easily put him around 4th place so far. Yep, we can see that. Well, I didn't see any of it on stream, but I did gather. Podio also still out on track. I believe he did cross the line before the checkered flag went out, although he is currently facing the wrong way on track. So I think that will be the end of his qualifying. Means that it is just Niemi out on the track now on his own. Still on a valid lap here. He goes purple in Sector 2. It is 3/10 up on anyone else, I believe. Again on the medium tyre. Then again, our pole sitter also did the lap on the medium tyre, so temperature's definitely playing their part in this. Bit of oversteer, comes up towards YouTube corner. Still just sliding mid-corner there. Very loose setup. Rear is all over the place. Relatively planted over the jump there. Final few corners on the Nordschleife section now. Quite a perfect run through there, but we'll see whether it was good enough. I try to find a camera on this track that doesn't suck. Through the final corner again, big slide. Across the line, and he does get 4th place. Final sector was about a second off, nearly 2 seconds off the pole sitter. A very impressive lap nonetheless on the medium tyres. Particularly with it being the 3rd lap on those tyres, including the outlap. Almost driven half the race distance in one session there. So that is just 8 cars having managed to set a valid lap there. Is Linny on pole, joining us in the Nord's wildcard class. By Sumoy taking the pole for the GT1 class. By in 3rd place, 2nd in the Nord's class. Followed by Niemi, Wu, Betahedron, Sodas, Podio again in the Nord's wildcard class. After that, everybody who did not qualify. Some of them by choice, such as Zayu as always. So everyone lined up on the grid now. I say grid. On the back straight. Will be a rolling start as usual. Definitely going to be a race of attrition this week. See who manages to keep it on the track for over an hour. Fuel also going to be a consideration, with it being such a long lap. The race could tick over to have an extra lap, and that could cause problems for anybody who has run tight on fuel. And away we go. Strange to see the field for once keeping a sensible distance from the safety car. What usually happens. I get out the way. To deal with this rotated camera for a second. We come up to the start-finish line. And away we go. Gonna be Nick Wu having a very strong start. Actually takes the lead now almost. Nope, gonna be just behind Sumoy and Niemi. Sumoy runs deep, as does Wu though. That's gonna cause a little bit of carnage out there. I think that is pretty much everyone through cleanly apart from Duffy though. Duffy ending up stopped in the wall at T1. T2 I suppose. Adam Mike now making a move on... not sure which of the Impact Blue cars that is. Maybe it is Kwai. Claudio meanwhile also having a pretty good start, up to 5th place now. Now I'm trying to get up the inside of Sumoy. Now going to go side by side through the Schumacher S's now. That's bold. Has to slot in behind. Sumoy gets a bit loose on the apex and gets hit by Podio though. There's Adamike looking up the inside of Podio now, trying to get past. His teammate, meanwhile, up in second place. Another excellent start. The Impact Blue cars having lost out a lot on the launch there, down to 7th and 8th now. Sumoy sending it into the chicane around the outside of Wu. Barely getting it stopped. We were going to have a look around the outside as they come onto the Nordschleife now. Not going to be able to hold it there though. On board with Linny, second of the Impact Blue cars. They make their way through the first sector of the Nordschleife for the first time. Piper now with much better straight line speed than anyone else. See if he can do anything. Big lift over the Flugplatz. Theo now sweeping past Linny. Linny still just falling backwards after that. Not spectacular start. Oh, and that is Wu round. Possibly contact with Podio there, or possibly Podio just ran into this already sideways Wu. That has held Podio up a lot. That means they're going to be going side by side into the dip here. Kwai, sorry, having a little look but having to back out. These guys going to hold each other up fighting through here, and that is going to let the front group get away. Niemi already pulling out a 2-second lead though, as we are just 4 minutes into this race. Bit of contact between Dorsey and Linny there. Dorsey is going to come off worse and lose the place to Zayo as well. Zayo trying to use that momentum to try and get past Linny, but not going to manage it. Duffy, meanwhile, is going to be on an angry charge through the field now. Not exactly the easiest track to do it, but we'll see where he can get himself up to in an hour's time. They right on the back of Linny now as they come up the hill. Is Dorsey wide on the grass, just about keeps it together though. Salvo meanwhile slowly making his way through the grid. Was not far off last on the grid in 13th place, now up to 10th already. Looks like he's going to be getting past Dayu right on him through Bravery Corner. Up front, still Niemi, Potato followed by Sumoy. Sumoy definitely getting a much better run through the carousel than Potato Hedron, but is he going to manage to use that to get through? Probably not. Samoy is absolutely flying. Could be his best result of the season so far, I think. Further down it is Dorsey spun round. Not ideal. Duffy meanwhile still just making his way back through the field after that turn 2 incident. Still a lot of battling going on down here for 6th place. So definitely the best start out of anyone, I think, having not qualified, started in 15th, up to 8th already. 7 places in less than a lap is pretty good. Particularly at the Nordschleife. Through the second carousel they go again. Anthony getting a pretty good run, going to be sat right on the back of Linny. Yeah, Banry, definitely. He's actually just in that castle up there on the right. Zayu massively down on top speed compared to Linny. Why also on the presumably on the same setup as Linny is going to fly past. Meanwhile, Samoy has dropped down to 5th place here. He made some sort of a mistake in the final few corners there. Definitely a lot of damage on that car now. Just slotted in behind his teammate Castillo. Side by side, T1 and 2. He's going to get held up by Castillo, and that is going to let Linny through on the inside. Linny not quite able to keep it alongside though, has to back out. In the meantime, Zayu, having got back past by Sabo now on the back of Kwai as well. Dio having let Samoy through. See where Samoy can recover to. Still 50 minutes to go, so... And oversteer from Tomsy there. He is going to let Kwai through, possibly. They go side by side onto the Nordschleife now. Championship is currently between Sabo and Duffy. Sabo is 22 points ahead. At this rate, Sabo in 9th. Duffy, after that Turn 1 incident and still losing time, being overtaken by Wu now as well. Looks like he's probably not going to manage to take the championship from Sabo here. So as it stands, Sabo would win the championship, but he's now been overtaken by Sodas, so anything could happen. With the current point system, Sabo would need to finish quite a few places ahead of... Duffy would need to finish quite a few places ahead of Sabo in order to take the championship, but it's not impossible. Odio currently leading the Lord's Wildcard class up in 4th place. He is pretty damn impressive considering the lack of practice and track knowledge and relatively poor but consistent at least qualifying. I think that would be an excellent twist to the races. We just had, like, democratic safety cars. Get random people to come along and vote for one. Up front, still Niemi now pulled out a 6-second lead. Definitely losing time to Potato through the uphill section there. That Lister, a lot lighter on its tyres, a lot lighter on fuel. They've been setting it up to go pretty quick in the straight line too. The agent's teammate not far behind, just 2 seconds back. Sabo back past Sodas now, possibly ran wide at the top of the hill there before the carousel. He's going to absolutely send it on Kwai, who was also trying to get past him. He's forced to back out by Soda's commitment there. Some interesting tyre strategy in this. Again, Linny and Kwai going for the harder tyres. Sabo also starting on the hard tyre. Everybody else on the mediums. Not sure how that's going to work out in terms of strategy by the end. Potato having lost quite a lot of time to Niemi there, has also fallen back into each of his teammate, just 3/10 behind him now. Potato struggling, they might need to swap positions there. what they decide to do on the straight here. There is Podio behind, who is not exactly hanging around. Will catch these two. Adamike actually not catching up to Potato Hedron despite having the slipstream though. Adamike possibly running more downforce than his teammate. Sabo and Linny right on each other as they come into the final few corners. Oh, there's Castillo round on the inside. They'll try and rejoin safely, but there is still a lot of cars coming through. They get to Duffy, who's fallen all the way back behind in front now. Duffy definitely not on much of a recovery drive. I meanwhile going to send it up the inside of Wu. Wu going to hold it as they come into the right-hander though. Down into the hairpin quite much later on the brakes than that Viper. It is a bit of a boat. Just has to run wide on the entry to not hit him. Bit of rubber banding from Quai as well though. Hope that stays stable. Sabo and Linny now on the back of Tomsy. Adamike having got past Potato Hedron, who is slow over fluke flats. Audio right on him now. Might be able to sweep past here. Send it on the brakes. Very late. Does get it stopped though. Holds it on the apex. Sweeps up the inside of Potato Hedron, but runs wide on the exit over the grass. They're still going to be side by side as they come through the dip, but it is Audio slotting in behind, having lost too much speed after that. If anybody does manage to cause a 4-car pile-up at this point, I will be quite impressed. Does at this point look like Podio might make contact with Potato Hedron at some point. Potato Hedron definitely slower through here, but Podio having some patience for now. At the back in what was that battle for 6th. Ooh, Podio almost running into the back of Dodecahedron there. Gonna get a much better run out of the corner though. What he can do, really just a drag race up the hill now. It is Dodecahedron who's a lot quicker though. Yep, in that battle for 6th place it is Sabo who's got past Linny for now. You know, Bannery, I would ban you if it wasn't for the fact that the engagement is probably doing something beneficial at this point. Audio having made a mistake though, that is going to let Tomoe through. Audio having dropped back quite far now, almost into the reaches of Sabo. Back up front, Adamike looks to be reeling Niemi in slowly now. I did see there was still a team running the GTR, it's pretty funny. I mean, it's not that old a car, it just wasn't that great at the time. I say not that old a car, it is 5 years old now. Sabo right on the back of Podio, who is way faster down the straight than Podio there. Linny also way fast as they duck and weave behind each other. Linny with the slipstream of both, also looking at Sabo. He's going to send it, but he's going to hit the grass, keeps it out of the barrier, but comes across the track. And luckily avoids both Sabo and Podio there. Almost very well held. Podio is going to have his own mistake as they come onto the Nordschleife though. Onto the Nurburgring, sorry. Tomoe meanwhile has pitted as they approach the halfway point. Could work out very well or very badly for him. It is quite early, should have the fuel to take it to the end from there obviously, but he will be running a heavier car than anyone else. A whole extra 8 minutes of tyre wear on there as well. Could work out better though, as these tyres will now wear, as they will have been driving on them for 35 minutes by the time they come into the pits. Up at the front, Adamike having closed in about a second since we last looked at the gap. Also having pulled 8.5 seconds over his teammate, Sabo up to P4 now, having started the race in P13. Like the championship is definitely going to go to Sabo here. Duffy's still down in 9th. Yemi having made a big mistake there, dropping back 5 seconds towards Adamite. Last lap, Adamite did set a purple sector 3, which explains why this gap is closing so fast. Expecting this to be a purple sector 1 as well. So on board with Niemi, see if we can see what the tyre wear's like. Car doesn't look much less planted than it was in qualifying, so can't be that bad. Soda's on the back of Duffy now, closing in very rapidly. They come to the crest up here. Bit of a slide from Soda's on turn-in though. Causing them to drop back once again. And this is a very good camera. I'm not sure why it is like that. The climb up the hill, Linny has got past Podio. Podio's still struggling for straight line speed, presumably running far too much downforce. Yemi, after that mistake in Sector 1, has started to pull away from Adamike again. Presumably having realised and picked up the pace under that pressure. Woo now the only Viper on track on the back of Podio. Still keeping up with them through the corners, and will be a lot faster on the straight, so high downforce really not working for Podio. I was doing well earlier, but possibly just struggling with the tyre wear now. Nitbu also starting on the hard tyres, so tyres will be in very good condition still. Actually, Podio surrounded by hard tyre runners here. Sabo, Linny and Wu all on the hard tyre. Onto the straight they come. Let's see what the Viper can do against Podio. Doubt he even really needs the slipstream to get past by the end of the straight. Indeed he does fly past. And as expected, Niemi comes into the pits now. I'm assuming he's going to be followed by Adamike. Yes, he is. And Potato Hedron. Expecting everyone to pour into the pits on this lap. As indeed they all do. He's just going to leave Sabo out on track on the hard tyres. These classes are because the, ACTV is just bad, and it's classing BGT as all the GT cars and sports as me and the safety car. It can't see the classes because those are an ACSM thing, not an AC. That would be me as the safety car. Hamzi also on the hard tyres has stayed out. These guys could actually stay out and take soft tyres at their pit stop. I'm surprised they've got the fuel to go this far into the race around here. Does mean that Niemi is actually going to be held up now. Interesting to see where Somoy has come out as well in comparison to Adamike and Potato Hedron. He has managed to put himself between the two of them. Means he's definitely gained quite a bit from that. Duffy also having stayed out on the hard tyres. He's going to hold up Adamike, possibly others here as well. It's not great for the people who have pitted. Now going to have to fight their way back through traffic on what is probably the most difficult track to overtake on the calendar. Guys who haven't pitted will probably also not want to hold themselves up too much though, as they are driving their own races. So we're going to run wide and have to let Niemi through. Don't think Niemi was held up too much there. Duffy holds Adamike up here though, that could decide the overall leader pretty easily. Does look like Duffy on those old hard tyres with presumably not much fuel left is still quite a bit slower than Adamike though. The only thing you should mix with soda, Vanry, is alcohol. Of legal drinking age, of course, that is. Now, having made that earlier pit stop, is right on the back of Adamike as well. Duffy forming a bit of a train of the guys who've pitted here. Adamike has finally managed to get past Duffy though. Half a lap behind him, Duffy also getting out the way of Sumoy. See whether Sumoy can do anything with the slipstream up here. These guys being held up means it is probably going to be Niemi who has just been lapping in clean air, still in the effective lead. He has now set a purple sector 2, so he is absolutely flying. Possibly not a great stop for Potatohedron to have dropped back towards Wu. Both cars have pitted. Wu does look like he is moving. Oh, and Sodas has crashed. Luckily he didn't get collected by anyone, I think. Sumoy still looking for a way past Adamike. Adamike does run wide, so does Sumoy. Sumoy losing that opportunity to get past there, running wide himself. Running very wide through the final corner before the long straight now. Woo, trying to get past Potato-hedron, but without that slipstream, he's not really going to manage it. Potato-hedron once again having that lister set up for straight line speed. Adamike does stay ahead of Sumoy, just barely. Here's Sabo and Zeu into the pits. Koda's very slow, also going to pit. Bit of confusion there, is possibly going to let Wu get past. Got a better run off the Nordschleife and onto the Nurburgring there. He can break later into T1. Is going to be Wu taking 4th place. And with all the guys who had not pitted out the way, does mean these standings are the actual standings. It does mean that Sumoy, after that crash earlier, could pull himself back into 2nd place here after that incident. Wu in with a shot of a podium if he can pick up the pace a bit and catch those two who are battling. Only if he can also hold off Potato-hedron though. Sabo, having come out the pits, not too far behind these guys either. Y and Podio, the two Nord's wildcards, holding each other up a bit, and that's going to allow Castillo to sweep around the outside. Am I possibly just dropping off the back of Adamike now? He is on tyres that are a lap older, helping him. Here's 8 minutes of extra wear. Undercut definitely has helped him overall though, having pulled his way up to P3. Oh, Podio has spun just before the entrance to the Nordschleife. Presumably having taken a bit much curb through the chicane. It's very easy to do. That is a disaster for Podio, who had been running pretty close to the front. By running a little bit wide over Flugplatz there, just about keeps it on the track and facing the right way. Going to lose a lot of time to Castillo in front though. Castillo's teammate up front, meanwhile, still looking pretty set on that podium, but definitely dropping back from Adamike, who himself is dropping back from the Emmy. Hedron also dropping back from Wu, so everybody's still just spreading out quite a bit here. Sabo in the background there, closing in on both these guys. On tyres that are another lap fresher. Is still his outlap now. Check in on the leader now. About 9.5 seconds clear of P2. It's at a purple sector 2, so on a pretty quick lap once again. Bike behind him did set a purple sector 1, but not quite keep up in sector 2. Dorsey down in last place there, coming into pits for the third time, I think. Might actually be lapped by Niemi, the race leader here. Him, the only Celine on track, Radu Bradu. And Niemi did set a purple sector 3, but Adamike meanwhile comes along, goes even faster. Does set the fastest lap of the race, an 8:21.3. Gap still at 9 seconds though, and with only, I think there's going to be 1 or 2 laps remaining. And whether Niemi wants there to be another lap or not. I think he does have the gap to actually lift off before the line if it comes down to it. Could go either way here, also depends how much, how good of a lap he can pull off here. Edinburgh's car looking very beaten up there. Assuming that has seen the barriers a few times this race. still pretty sad that there is only one Celine on the grid. It is clearly the best sounding car, and that is very good reason to use it. Audio comes into the pits again as well for some reason. Yemi over Flugplatz now, still 8.5 seconds ahead of Adamike. We'll see in front of them spun round in the dip. He is definitely going to get caught by Niemi and Adamike here. Hopefully he lets them through pretty cleanly. Hedron once again closing in on Wu, possibly just Wu falling back from Sumoy, who himself is falling back from Adamite. Savo behind those two, of course, still catching both of them. Could be a pretty easy P4 for him here if he can sneak past both of them. Going to be difficult with that 100 kilos of ballast though. I believe Dorsey has crashed once again. Claudio does indeed seem to have retired. That in the pits now. I mean, he did do, pretty much, well, yeah, literally no practice. Little track knowledge, little car knowledge, so he was doing pretty well, up until about the halfway point there. Looks like we're going to have a three-way battle for P4 coming into the final couple of minutes now. This could be the final lap, depending on whether Niemi makes it round in time. He has started to pull away from Adamike again, but I'm not sure if that's him flying or Adamike dropping back. Looking at the sector times, I would guess it is Adamike dropping back a bit. And yep, Niemi was about 5 seconds quicker in to that, and Adamike, yeah, has made a big mistake. He did lose 5 whole seconds in Sector 2 there. Going up for a battle for P4, and it turns out P2 was up for grabs. Eden having dropped back from Wu. Savo going to try and get past as well. Needs to get past quickly again. This could be the final lap, so if he wants a shot at P4, he's got to clear P5 as soon as possible. If Niemi does stretch it out to take another lap, then we could have a lot of people running out of fuel here as well. That is Dorsey, the back marker, off the track. He is just going to get out the way of Potatohedron there. That's going to be a big distraction, though. That can't be helpful. I'm assuming that Potatohedron is going to have the straight line speed advantage over Sabo here, but we will see what Sabo can do with the slipstream anyway. Niemi coming up to the end of the straight here, 19 seconds left on the clock. He could make it round for an extra lap. He does have a 16-second lead though. He could very easily not take this for an extra lap. We'll see what he does. 8 seconds. Is he gonna do it? And he has crossed the line, so there will be another lap now. That is going to give Sabo a great chance to get past Potatohedron. Have a whole extra lap to do it, but again, we'll see whether people have the fuel. I am very glad that Niemi has gone for the maximum comedy here, because indeed Wu has come into the pit, so Wu presumably doesn't have enough fuel for another lap. Somehow. Alright, I've solved that problem. Right, so, Soda's also coming into the pits. Sabo, meanwhile, having managed to get past Potatohedron now. Winnie all the way back up to P6 now, thanks to those guys pitting in front. Again, just hope that the rest of these guys who've stayed out don't run out of fuel. Dynamite will also be using this extra lap to try and get past... Oh my. Soda's on the back of Castillo, trying to recover some of the places after having to pit. Adamite definitely quicker through here. Oh, I could be fuel saving. Go on board and have a listen. Doesn't seem to be, possibly just struggling with these tyres that are, I think, just one lap older. Semi absolutely zooming away from Adamite. I wonder if Adamite's saving fuel, actually. He's just a lot slower up here. I think he was struggling running some of the lower downforce setups that they've been running thus far in the season. Yep, I think Adamite's only shot here would be to sit right on the back of Somoy until final straight, see if he can stay on him in the slipstream and make a move as they come into the penultimate corner. But that is in a couple of minutes' time still. Could still be cars running out of fuel yet too. Big snap from Adamite, once again with a setup that is very loose on turning. Still staying on the back of Somoy though, he could pull this off. A bit more oversteer though. Sodas meanwhile has got past Castillo, because Castillo has spun round and is in the wall. And continues to drive into the wall. Pretty big gap behind to Pi, so shouldn't be too much of an issue there. Adamite still sat right on Somoy's diffuser. Somoy very slow through that. Might actually have held Adamite up slightly. Adamite just needs to try and get as clean a run through here as possible to stay on Somoy down the straight. Whether he's got the gearing to stay in the slipstream though will be the next question. All these cars make their power pretty much at the red line, so you have to kind of gear it to top out on the straight if you want to go fast. Does look like Somoy is going to continue to pull away. Does mean Somoy, barring any mistake into the final few corners here, is going to bring it home in P2. Niemi, meanwhile, in those final few corners, does finally bring it across the line. As the camera eventually decides to change. So that is Niemi taking the win. Adamite having lost over half a second there, very wide in the penultimate corner as well. Sabo actually having closed a chunk of that gap to those two as well. Again, a pretty good recovery from 13th on the grid up to 4th. Hedron bringing it home in 5th. Denny, the first of the Nord's wildcards, in 6th overall. That Wu, despite having to take an extra pit stop, still brings it home in 7th. Ahead of Zeu, still on the straight now. Castillo and Quai running very wide onto the straight now. See whether Castillo can do anything in the slipstream. Quai and Linney were running very low downforce setups it seems, so I don't think he'll be able to catch him. Possibly just closing that gap though. Doesn't seem like he's going to be close enough regardless. That is Castillo indeed finishing just behind by there. I run that. As Castillo flies off into the distance with the usual RSS physics. Bradu and Podio actually having come out the pits and deciding to drive the final lap here. Not sure whether he'll make it round in time, he's quite far behind. Dorsey having been lapped, already having bring it home in 15th place, a lap down. Bradu presumably running out of fuel as he is doing a bit of eco driving here. Seems to have worked out that he has enough fuel to get around now, back full throttle, down the straight. Video having spun at YouTube corner, just before it. Podio will, I think, still be finishing on the lead lap here, so he will be ahead of Dorsey. Here's Bradu coming across the line in 13th though. So, final order is Niemi winning the race with a pretty good lead of 14.5 seconds. Followed by Somoy, and then Adamike, Sabo, Pedhedron, Lenny, and Wu. Deu, Sodas, and Duffy rounding out the top 10. Not a great race for Duffy after that turn 2 incident. As Podio has run out of time to finish the lap there, will sadly be finishing a lap down. Is Quai the second of the Nord's wildcard class in 11th, followed by Castillo, Bradu, Podio bring it home in 3rd for the Nord's wildcard class. And Dorsey rounding out the entire grid in 15th. That is the end of this series. Championship is provisionally Sabo's. I believe that will put Duffy in 2nd and Niemi in 3rd. So that is that for the next 6 weeks, or however long it is until the next league. Yeah,